Hi everyone, it is the 30th of May of 2025. So this is a very particular, strange, unusual video in that this is, I decided to make this for one particular friend of mine who I've decided that, I've spoken to her about this game, about Magic for so long, and I thought it would be nice to make a video and try to go over some of the rules just to give her just to give her a feel of how the game is played and what it's like. I thought it'd be fun. Of course, anyone's welcome to watch this, but this does have an intended audience of one. So I am addressing one particular person in this video. Anyway, I already had to go at this. I thought to myself, oh yeah, I'll try having a game with my deck just like on a random game. Didn't really work out, so I'm going to try it again. Didn't really work out because it was very hard to describe things as like they were going along and like with the time constraints and everything. So I figured what I would do is I would instead have a bot game. Have a bot match. So basically, yeah, I'm very bad at coming up with deck names. I don't do deck building very well. I just sort of have an idea and I'm like, oh, let's go for that, and then it's just let's try it out. And sometimes it works okay, sometimes it doesn't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a game against a bot. I'm going to have a game against a bot, Sparky. That way I don't have to worry about time restrictions or annoying my opponent or my opponent playing obscure weird decks or whatever. So I figured, yeah, okay, I'll do this first, and then after I've done this game, I will go through my particular deck and I will try to explain what the deck is trying to do. Right. But game against Sparky, it's probably a little bit better than doing this against a human. Anyway, so at the start of the game, you draw 7 cards, and you can choose to keep the 7 cards you draw, or you can choose to mulligan. If you mulligan, then what that means is you'll draw a new set of 7 cards, and for each time you mulligan, you have to take that many cards and stick it to the bottom of your deck. So if I was to mulligan now, I'd draw a new set of 7 cards, I'd take one of them, stick it at the bottom, and then if I did it again, I'd do it again, and then I'd take 2 of them, put it to the bottom. So you generally want to try to keep your hand, if possible. Not always a good idea, because some starting hands don't work out very well. Generally speaking, you want at least 2 or 3 of these. These are lands. So these cards here, on the left here, these are the ones that provide your mana. So that is how you cast your spells. Your spells being every other card here. So you want to make sure that you have like a decent, it's called a curve, where you've got things that you can do like at the start. It's like, okay, I can do this on turn 2. So you've got like a kind of a brief idea. This is okay. This hand here is okay, so I'm going to keep this. So, to describe what they do here, so as you see these cards here, so the abilities here, so land, so what you do is you tap them. In fact, I'll show you when I play. But yeah, they provide your mana, and these cards here, the symbols on the top right there, that shows you what mana and how much mana each spell costs to play from your hand. And that's the mana that you get from these lands here. So I'm just going to keep these. Okay. There's my very cute Moogle there for emotional support. So each turn you can play 1 land. So I've got these 2 lands here, so I can play 1 of these. So this one, it can give me a red mana. It can tap for a red mana. That arrow there means tap. So that's like, tap is to turn it sideways, and in Magic, turning something sideways indicates like something's being used up, or it's like it's like if something's tapped, then it indicates that its power has been used for the turn until it gets comes back round to your next turn, and then everything untapped, it comes back. So this one here, it can tap for red, or it can tap for blue, but only if I control an island or a mountain. I don't have any islands or mountains. Whereas Shivan Reef here, this can tap for, that's a colourless, or it can tap for a blue or red, but if I tap for the blue or the red, it will deal 1 damage to me. Now, the thing is that all my cards here, and all but one of them, is red, so I want to play this because I want to have access to the blue mana. It's going to hurt me to do it, but I want to be able to get it out and be able to use my spell. So as you can see, these numbers 20 here, 20 there, 20 there, so that's our life total. So obviously you start at 20, you've got to try to get your opponent down to 0. Do not be distracted by the cute Moogle waving at us. So, I can, you don't have to do this manually, but I will just to show. So I'm going to do this. I can choose to tap for a colourless red or a blue. I want a blue, so I'm going to tap for a blue. Hurts me for 1, because that's what that does. And that allows me to play one of these spells here. To explain what the different spells are, so the main ones are creatures. I don't actually have any creatures with me at the moment, but creatures are like the things that will come out and like, do your bidding. They'll attack your opponent and all that lot. You've got enchantments, so these ones here are enchantments. So enchantments, they will come out and they will stay on the battlefield, and they will just have an effect as they're there. You can like activate abilities from them, or they'll do things. There's artifacts, which I don't have any artifacts here, which is very similar to enchantments. Sorcery, you can see the middle word there, so sorcery. Sorcery means that you could only use it at sorcery speed, which is like during one of your main phases, and you can't do it, you can't like interact with anything with a sorcery. You have to play a sorcery only within the designated like main phase times, and not in the middle of anything. Whereas say Opt here is an instant, that means I can do that at any time. So if my opponent plays a spell, if I've got the mana open, I can go, oh, I'm going to use Opt, I'm going to use this ability. But what I want to do here is I want to play the Stormchaser's talent. So this is enchantment. It's a class, you don't get many of those. So it's got 3 levels here. Level 2 and 3 don't really mean much. They're not used much in this deck. It's usually just want to get it out so that it's got the ability activated. So when I play it, when it enters, create a 1/1 blue and red otter creature with prowess. A creature token with prowess. So let's do that. So I'll bring you out, spend my 1 blue mana. Right? Yeah, and then that does its thing. It gives me a token here, which is a little otter. So what they've done here is they have played a forest, and they've not played any creatures. They've not played anything, so they've still got their forest untapped. So if I've got any instance that cost 1 green mana, they can do it during my turn. So I've only got 1 more land to play, so I'm going to play this. I can't do much. I can bring another Stormchaser's talent, or I can use a Sleight of Hand. I'm thinking I would like to get a Sleight of Hand or an Opt, because these ones can draw me some cards, and I am running low on lands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out the Stormchaser's talent. Oh, I've got to hurt myself for that. That's going to come out and give me another otter. Now this otter here, it's called Summoning Sickness. It can't, because it's been brought up this turn, it can't attack this turn. Whereas this one here, this one came out last turn, so that one can attack. So it's got an ability called Prowess, which you don't need to know all the ability names. There's plenty of them. Some of them are more evergreen, like they'll be in every set. Some of them aren't as much. Prowess has become quite a big thing. So a prowess is whenever I play a non-creature spell, such as Stormchaser's talent, it gets an extra 1 to both of its stats for the turn. So if you look at the bottom right there, you've got 1/1 for that otter, and this otter is 2/2. So what that means is 2 is how much damage it deals when it attacks, and the second number is how much damage it can take for the turn. So it's everything like attack and defense in a way. But after the first main phase, we can go to the combat phase. Right now, I can choose which creatures to attack. This is the only one I can attack with. And something particular to with Magic is when you attack, you don't have your creatures attack other creatures. What happens is you choose your creatures to attack the player. So I'm going to get this otter to attack my opponent here. And what they would do is if they had creatures out, they would choose which creatures to block my creatures with. And whichever creatures are blocking what, they'd like have a fight. So I do my power damage to your toughness and they do that their power to my toughness. And maybe one of them will die, maybe both of them will die. Maybe they'll just bounce off each other and not do anything. But I'm going to attack them. They've got nothing. They've got nothing that they can do, so hit them for 2. Okay, and then you get another main phase after that. I'm going to end my turn. Okay, see what they do. So they've got another forest, so they've got access to 2 green mana. They've got a Treetop Warden, which is awful, but fine. I mean, this is a bot. This is for like introductory games, I guess. So it's just a 2/2. It costs 1 green, so they've paid 2 green mana to bring that out. Okay, they can't do anything else for the turn. Now here's the thing. I could use Torch the Tower now, right? So Torch the Tower, you don't ignore most of that. As for all intents and purposes, Torch the Tower will do 2 damage to a thing. It can do 2 damage to a creature or a planeswalker, which you don't even know about. But it'll do 2 damage to this thing. I could, at the end of their turn, now, because it's waiting for my turn, this is an instant, I could use this now to hit that. And then what that means is that when my turn comes round, I'll have both my lands untapped. Because you see I've got this one untapped here. This can give me red. I can do that now to kill that at the end of their turn and then get the lands untapped again. But I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go to my turn. Right? Because these two have prowess, so I want to use this on my turn if possible. So, now this, I'm going to Sleight of Hand first. This is a sorcery, so I can't do this in the middle of combat. I have to use it on my first or second main phase. I want to do it now. So Sleight of Hand. So it costs 1 blue mana to use. Yep. Both of those will have the prowess effect. Yeah, they both get +1/+1 for the turn. I look at the top 2 cards of my deck and I choose one to put in the hand and one on the bottom. So I could choose the Spy Above Canal or the Into the Floodmoor. I think I want to take the Into the Floodmoor. That's fine. Right. I'll bring you out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Now, you've got to be careful. So this is an instant. These are all these cards here are instants. They're all 1 mana. They're all instants. So I would like to kill that. Now, what I could do here is I could kill it now. And that would allow them to not... They won't have any options to block with. Or I can wait till they block and then I can decide what to do. I'm going to do it now. Because there's nothing they can do. They've got no mana there. So I'm going to Torch the Tower. Yep. I'm going to go 2 damage to you. They both get prowess. Yeah. And now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with both of these. They're both 3/3s. And then, before... So, it goes to their declaring like blocker stage. They've got nothing there, so I'm going to use Opt. I'm going to get prowess again. Double prowess. And... Okay, I'll take the Slick Shot Show off. And draw that into my hand. Opt. I should have described. So Opt, scry 1, draw card. Scry 1 means look at the top card of your library. And then you can either keep it on top or put it on the bottom. Or, well, yeah, or if it's like scry 2, look at the top 2. You can choose whether to put 1, however many on the top or however many on the bottom. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to... The Slick Shot Show Off here, it's got flying and haste. So, just to give you a rundown on a couple of the abilities here. Flying means that when it attacks their opponent's creatures, they can't block it unless they have something else that can fly or reach. And it's also got haste. So haste means it can attack as soon as it comes out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring you out. Yeah, forget plot, doesn't matter for all intents and purposes. So this is a 1/2. These are 2 1/1s. And this, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. So what I could do is I could Into the Floodmaw this to return it back to their hand with my 1 mana. And then they'd be clean open for me to swoop in and do a big attack. But I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with all of them. See, do they want to block with their Asilian Caryatid? Or it's Caryatid, yeah. So they're blocking. So what would happen here? So these are both 1/1. So they've blocked this otter with this thing here. So what would happen is they both do 1 damage to each other, and they've both got 1 toughness, so they would both die. That's usually how it would go. But now they've declared their blockers, I've still got a chance to use my instant, so I'm going to use Opt. Yeah, and I get all these effects. They get all their boosts. Yeah. You can go to the bottom, scry you to the bottom of the deck. And now, this is Otter is a 2/2. So that tree guy dies because it did 1 damage to me, which wasn't enough to kill it. And at the end of your turn, you have the ability to. At the end of your turn, all the stats are reset, so all damage is taken off and all that lot. So this is the brought up this scary thing. So it's a 3/3, so bigger than my guys. It's got trample. So trample is an ability to describe. Trample is like a common one. So what trample would do is it would it means that if something with trample is blocked, then any excess damage goes over onto the opponent. Usually, like say if I was to attack with this, say if they were to attack, say if I had like a 2/2 and they blocked with a, how do I describe? I don't know. So say if they attacked with a 3/3 and I blocked it with the 1/2, this would die, but because it's got trample, the extra 1 point of damage would transfer over onto me. Okay, black can win this turn, so I'll just play this mountain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Into the Floodmaw, return that to their hand, and that's going to be enough to get these things powered up. And I can do more than enough damage, attack with everything, and I win. I'm going to have another game. I'm going to have another game with Sparky. Maybe play it a bit faster. But hopefully you got like a vague idea of like creatures attacking and instants and sorceries and stuff. This hand is okay, I suppose. Not great. Okay. So I'll play my mountain. Give me some red mana. They're playing green again. Okay. So yeah. So I'll bring out my Slickshot Show Off. It's got haste, so it can attack straight away, so I'll hit them for 1. Colossal Majesty. So that's an enchantment. So at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, draw a card. Right, so if they can bring out a creature with power 4 or greater at the start of their turn, they'll draw an extra card. Okay, so I'm going to play quite aggressively here. I've got a bunch of mana here, so I'll bring out this. And I've got a Monstrous Rage here. It's an instant, so I don't actually have to play it now. I can wait till I've attacked and they've declared their blockers. So this will give something... This basically buffs something up. It gives it +2/+0 until end of just for the turn, and it creates a monster roll, which is... That was only a thing in one set, but It is like, it gives it, the monster roll will give it +1/+1 and trample permanently. So let's just act this out. And of course, don't forget these also get the +2/+4 whenever I cast a non-creature spell. So I'll attack both of these. I'm going to be aggressive. Play the Monstrous Rage on this one. Oh, their abilities trigger off. They get +2/+4. And that one gets the bonus, so it's a lot of damage straight in there. When it enters, draw a card. Just so you know, they are playing like really bad cards here. So they can't reach me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll kill you with this. They get there. I mean, I might just win this turn. Kill you. I mean, didn't have to do it now, but I just did. Sleight of hand. Yeah. I look at the top 2 cards on my deck. Oh, I'll put the Storm Chaser's talent into my hand. Play this for 1. Yeah. Hurts me from that land, that Shivan Reef. They get their effect again. Yeah. And then I'll attack them. It's a bit, I understand it's a bit anticlimactic doing it against Sparky, because she purposefully, because it's like an introductory into the game, I guess, she purposely plays really bad cards. Cards that you would never, like, see. Cards that are designed to be worse, just for the sake of a tutorial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the deck. I'm going to explain what it's about, and I'm going to have some proper games against some real people, and I will try to explain how the what was it? I'll try to explain like what my opponent's strategy is and what my plan is and how I'm planning to get around their things and whatever. But anyway, so the idea of this deck, this is a deck that I found online. I actually had all the cards in it, so I didn't have to spend any of my wild cards to get any of these cards. But the idea is for this deck is that there's a lot of small things, a lot of very cheap things that do a small thing, and you've got things that benefit from lots of cards being played. So for example, and these are listed in mana cost order. Now, bear in mind, most decks won't be this low. So I've got loads of things that cost just 1 mana and quite a lot that cost 2. Most decks won't be like that. Most decks will have stuff like higher up. But this particular deck, because of the style of it, everything's like really low. So for example, if we look at let's actually have a look at the creatures, because there aren't many creatures in this deck. There's only 3. No, there's only 2 types of creatures in this deck, but you've got other things that can make a creature. So the very 2 creatures here are the Slickshot Show-Off and the Drake Hatcher. Now, both of these, well, this Vigilance and Prowess. So this thing has Prowess. So Prowess is, whenever you cast a non-creature spell on that turn, it gets +1/+1 for the turn. So it's a 1/3. It's got Vigilance. Vigilance means that usually when a creature attacks, it taps, which means it's not there to block the next for the opponent's turn. But if it's got Vigilance, it can attack and it can stay untapped, so that it's still there to block when the opponent attacks. So it's got Vigilance and Prowess. When it deals combat damage to a player, you put that many incubation counters on it, and you can remove 3 incubation counters from it to create a token that's a 2/2 blue direct creature with flying. So you can see that to the right there. So the more damage it does, you can start making these drakes if you can get the damage onto your opponent. Slickshot Show-Off, flying and haste, as you know. When you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +2/+4. The downside to this card is that it's got a very low defense. The fact that it flies is beneficial in that it can get over very easily, but if they've got a spell that just does 2 damage, it's dead. You can't really do much to help that, because the ability is +2/+0, unlike this where it's like +1/+1 for the prowess. You can't do things to like, you can't stack things up to build up its defense for the turn. And it's got plot for 2, which again, plot is a very specific ability. You get plenty of those. So you get these abilities where like they'll appear like in one set, like they'll introduce like a new thing, and then maybe they won't do it again, or maybe it'll come back. So basically, plot a card is you pay an alternate cost, and then you sort of put it to one side, and then that means you can play it properly for free later on. So I can plot this for 1 and a red. I would do that if I feel like my opponent maybe has something they can deal with it this turn. It's like, I don't want it to come out just yet, maybe. Or maybe it's for this, the Corey Steel Cutter. This is a very popular card that's making the rounds lately. It's from the latest set. So it's an equipment. It's an artifact and equipment. So equipment is just like artifacts, just like things that are on the battlefield. You could like tinker with them to do things. And equipment, you equip them to your creatures, and it'll give them like an extra effect. So this one gives it the creature +1/+1 and trample and haste. But it's also got the ability that whenever you cast your second spell in a turn, it will create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess, and you can attach this equipment straight to it. So you want to be able to play more than one spell a turn. So those things there that I've shown you, they're basically the things that benefit from being able to play lots of spells, because they get a power boost. This thing, it will make monks, it will, you know, and it'll, well, when you play 2 spells. See, like the Slick Shot Show Off, I mean, what you could do, for example, is you could plot the Slick Shot Show Off so it goes to one side, so that it's not cast, and then the next turn, you bring up the Corey Steel Cutter, and then you can cast the Slick Shot Show Off for free, because you've plotted it, and then it'll count as your second spell for the turn, and this will come out and give you the monk. Got 1 Abrade in this deck, which is just, it's mostly just like a damage thing. It's just like you can either do 3 damage to a creature or destroy an artifact. Fair enough. We've got loads of, so these are all things that cost 1. So all the things that cost 1 are basically, a lot of them, the idea is just to be a cheap thing just to do, that will, so like some of them like give you a card, like give you a card back. It's just an easy way of getting those like extra spell abilities to trigger. So Opt here, for example, scry 1, draw a card, 1 blue mana, very simple, very small, but it's useful because it gets these abilities to trigger off. Sleight of Hand, similar, sorcery, so you can't do it like in response to something. Look top 2 cards of your library, put 1 into your hand and the other on the bottom. Simple enough. Into the Floodmaw, so it returns a creature that they have to their hand. It's also got the ability that you can choose to give them a fish, a tapped 1/1 fish, and if you do, that will allow you to return anything to their, well, not anything to their hand, but other like enchantments or artifacts, things that aren't creatures, back to the hand, which sometimes is necessary. There's 1 Spell Pierce. Counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2. So if countering a spell is a very blue thing. So say they play, they've got 2 lands, they spend 2 mana to cast some damaging spell. I don't want them to. I'll play Spell Pierce and it will stop that from happening, and they can't pay the 2 mana through the Spell Pierce, so that's not gonna happen. Storm Chaser's Talent. This, as you've seen, when this comes out, it gives you the otter, with prowess. So that's good. You can also, I mean, it's a class. You can also level it up, which you don't get much of that, not with this deck, at least from my experience. But you can level it up, so you get like extra effects once you've leveled it up. So if it's level 2, you can get an instant sorcery from your graveyard back to your hand, and that costs 3 and a blue to do. And level 3 costs 5 and a blue to do. It means, and if it's level 3, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you get another one of those otters. But that's very unlikely to happen in this deck. Monstrous Rage is a very utilised card at the moment, since it came out. A temporary like strength buff. and it gives it trample. Torch the tower, 2 damage to a thing, or you can do bargain, which to do 3 damage. It doesn't matter. It just does 2 damage to a thing, but you can also do 3 damage to a thing if you sacrifice something. That's a particular. I'm not going to go into all the details. For the most part, as far as we're concerned right now, it just does 2 damage to a thing, and it exiles it. If something exiles, it's like it's gone from the game. It's no longer there. On the higher end, we've got a stock up. This is a sorcery. Look top 5 cards in your library, put 2 in your hand and the rest on the bottom. Again, another spell just to fiddle around with cards and all that. And they've got this town here, big enough. So it costs 5 mana, so you'd return 2 cards to their controller's hands. But if you target one of your own things, it costs 3 less mana. So for 2 mana, you can target one of their things and one of your things, and they'll both return to their hand. Why would you want to do that on one of your things? Well, for example, you could use this town ain't big enough on the Stormchaser's talent so that you could bring it out again and then get the otter again. There's quite a lot of decks that use this with things that have effects that, like, when things enters, it does a thing, and I want to get that effect again. And then we have our lands. So 6 islands can give us blue mana, 3 mountains for red. 4 River Pyre Verge, so that's the one that gives us red, or blue if we have a mountain or an island. Shivan Reef is the one that hurts us if we want to get a cult out of red or blue out of it. And then Spirebluff Canal. That one, it enters tapped unless you control 2 or fewer other lands. So if you can get out early, it's really good. If you can't get out till later, it's not so good. But yeah, that's the idea of the deck. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna have at least 1 or 2 games against a human. And I'll try to go through. I mean, that might have been a bit of an info dump, but hopefully you've got an idea as to what the idea of the deck is. To do a lot of like little things to get all the buffing effects going on. This starting hand is terrible. There's 1 mountain in it. I can't do anything with 1 mountain. I can torch the tower, but that's not good enough. So I'm going to mulligan it. It's better. Alright. I'm going to keep this hand. Stick the island at the bottom. Okay. So they've got a mountain there, so they're playing something in red. Play an island. Get my Stormchaser's talent and get my otter. To be honest, I think this is going to be the fun part of the video. Okay. Oh, we recognise that card, don't we? Slickshot Show Off. Wait, what? What happened? Did that untap? I'm going to be footage. I don't know what happened there. I thought I saw that they attacked with that, didn't they? So how is it untapped? Am I imagining things? Okay. So what I can do is I can attack them, hope that they would block, but that would be too obvious to then throw out my Monstrous Rage. So I'll just bring up my Drake-Hatcher. And I won't attack, because that's just going to kill it. What happened there? I don't know. So yeah, they might be going for a similar strategy to me. They are plotting another one of those. So that can come out next turn for free. Here's what I'm going to do. Oh man, I've only got 1 red mana. I was thinking I could torch the tower to kill that, but I think I want a Monstrous Rage. So I'll bring up another Stormchaser's talent to get another otter. They both get their prowess. Okay. Attack with both of them, and then they can't do anything. So I'm going to Monstrous Rage this one. Yeah, their prowess happens again. So that does a lot of damage, and that gets 6 counters. So I can activate that ability and get 2 Drakes from that. There's another one of those, yep. They're going to do a lot of damage this turn, I think. Monstrous Rage, yep. We're familiar with this. Yeah. And the Monstrous Raging that one as well. That's a lot of damage. So, they're both 8/3s. Jeez, that's a lot of damage. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this, get 2 of my Drakes. They attack with both of them. I mean, I should have waited for them to attack first, but okay, whatever. I'll get 2 of my Drakes and block this one. So, that'll do 8 damage to me. This will do 4 damage because it tramples over and these 2 Drakes, but the 2 Drakes will kill it because they both do 2 damage to it. So, I'm taking a lot of damage here. Yeah. Okay. Now. I think... Oh, man, I could stock up. I can torch the tower on this one. I can use the bargain ability, sacrificing this thing. Oh no, so I could sacrifice one of these to get to do 3 damage to it. But if I stock up, I might be able to get another mountain to be able to... Oh, hold on. Oh, it's risky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to stock up first. Sorcery speed, get the prowess going. Hopefully I can get another red. Oh, no. It enters tapped, so I can't use it this turn. I'll take the Spy Above Canal. And I'll take this Carvey Seal Cutter. Sure thing. Well, that's not quite enough to withstand it. I think they're probably going to be able to do a big attack this turn and win. I did take a bit of a gamble there with stock up rather than that. Monstrous Rage, yeah. So that's a big thing. Can they do another thing? At the very least, I can make another Drake with this and block it so that it only does 4 damage, unless they've got something else to buff it up with. Oh, they don't. Okay. There you go. Interesting. They were a bit screwed in that they only got 2 lands out. It's gone dark. I'm going to turn my light on. Versus this person. Okay. Yeah, this one's fine. I've got the 2 Spy Above Canals can come out early. That's good. Into the Floodmore. Sleight of Hand, do I want to use that early? I'm thinking I kind of want to keep the Sleight of Hand in my hand for now so that I can use it like in order to be able to trigger the Carvey Seal Cutter's Flurry ability that will give me the Monk. But I'm going to keep this. Bring up the Spy Above Canal. And I'm not going to Sleight of Hand. See what they've got going on. Oh, Heartfire Hero. Another red deck. You do get quite a lot of red decks sometimes. Okay, this is annoying. Here's the thing. So this is whenever they target it with a spell, they get a 1/1 counter. That's like a permanent thing, and then when it dies, the damage that it does, it will do like a final attack on me. So that has a real chance of being, like buffing up and getting powerful. The thing is, what I kind of would like them to do. See, this thing here can target this land here. It's got an ability to target it, so they can give it like the effect. So they have a real chance to make it like really powerful. What I kind of would like to do. Yeah, I've played with these mice. Okay. So, what I'm going to do here is... Because here's what I'm thinking, right? If they can put like a load of counters on this, it would be really nice to then be able to... it would be really nice to then be able to bounce it to their hand within the flood mark, then it'll lose its counters. So I want a sleight of hand first, because I want to get... Oh geez, not much there for me. I want to land. Monstrous Rage isn't really helping. Stock up. I've already got 2 of those. Ah, yeah, okay. Well... See, I don't have a mountain or an island, so this can't give me blue mana. So I think... Okay. I didn't want to do this just now. I'd rather have waited a bit, but I want to cast my second spell so I can get my monk. With Trample and Haste. And I could Monstrous Rage it now to get some extra damage in, but I kind of want to hold back because I want to be able to cast multiple spells in order to be able to get... See, they're bringing that out again. I want to be able to cast multiple spells in order to be able to get the weapon on another creature to get another monk. Yeah, see, they're doing all this, and then this Manifold Mouse is going to give it double strike. That's not nice. Attack with both of them, yep. Yeah, double strike hits me twice. Uh-huh. Shivan Reef. Okay. Okay, let's stock up. Torch the Tower is nice. Torch the Tower. If it exiles something, then it won't count as it dying. So I kind of would like to Torch the Tower it. And would I like another land? No, I'll just take an opt. Just take an opt. That's fine. So, Torch the Tower. Yeah, just 2 damage to this thing. It will exile, so the damage won't affect me. This will get a prowess. I'll get another monk from that being my second spell for the turn. It'll exile. Attack with both of these. Very nice. Hopefully we'll have an opponent that isn't just playing red. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very... Oh, I might have... have I lost this turn? That's a lot of damage. Not quite. Okay. Well, all I can do is use these little things. See if I can win this turn into the flood mark. I mean, I've got plenty of things here that I can do, so maybe I can just win this turn by usually doing a lot of things. My second spell gives me another monk. It's into the flood maw. Return that one back to your hand. Yeah. Yeah. And then attack with everything and Monstrous Rage on any one of them. And as you can see, all these prowess abilities are stacking up. So very nice. Very nice. I would like to come across an opponent that doesn't have a mono red deck. Nicholas. There's something a bit different. Not amazing, but fine. Ooh, Fabled Passage. So they're definitely more than one colour. Fabled Passage means more than one colour. They are at least green. Right. See, I could sleight of hand now, maybe get something into my hand, but the thing is, what I want to do, I want to keep that open, because if they play an non-creature spell, I'd like to spell pierce it maybe, and if not, then at least I have the option to opt at the end of their turn. Can't do that with sleight of hand because it's sorcery, so I'll just end the turn. We'll see what they do. If they play a non-creature spell, so they're green and white at least, they're not doing nothing. They're not doing anything. Square one, draw a card. Yeah, sure thing. You come to my hand. Right. See, they could have something because they've not played any. They've not tapped their land, so they still could have something. But I think I might just play a Drake Catcher. It means I won't have the chance to spell pierce, but I'll play the Drake Catcher. Mirrex. Oh, that thing. Yeah. Wily Duke. That can draw them quite a bit of cards. It's used for that was from the Cowboy site where there was an ability called Saddle, where you could tap a creature to make another creature do an extra thing when it attacks. So this has vigilance, but it doesn't attack. It doesn't tap when it attacks. So I mean, do I want to? Okay, sleight of hand first. Prowess. I'll take the Shivan Reef. Now I could. Man. So I think I'm going to attack here. So I'll attack. They can choose to block or not. I don't think they will. They're choosing to not block. That's fine. But that's fine. Let's torch this tower. Kill that. 3 damage to them. You get 3 counters on you. I'm going to leave one blue man open to spell pierce, and I'm going to maybe get a Drake at the end of their turn. But we'll see. Oh, that's not a creature spell. So this is a vehicle. So spell pierce, counter target non-creature spell unless it's controller pays 2. They don't have any mana, so I'm just going to spell pierce that. Yeah. And that goes away. Yeah. And into their turn. Take off these 2 counters and give myself a Drake. Nice. Okay. So let's stock up. Stock up. Look at the top 5 cards. Put 2 into my hand. Into the Floodmaw. How am I doing for lands? I'm okay for lands. I think I would like Stormchaser's Talent and an Into the Floodmaw. So I can play this. Yeah, let's do this. Give myself an Otter. Attack with both of these. You get 3 counters. Gotta say, I'm doing very well. I'm doing very well. They're doing nothing. So they have nothing they can do. Either there's nothing they can do, or either there's nothing they can do, or there's something they can do on my turn. But I've got a feeling there's something they can do. Looking at my graveyard there. So, okay. Generally speaking... Oh, I should have sleight of handed. Never mind, I made a mistake there. Yeah, generally speaking, if you can, you want to play spells on your second main phase, because at least that way when you attack, your opponent has less information to work with. So that was that I didn't do very well that turn. But what did they do? They're doing nothing. So if they play a creature here, yeah, fair enough. They didn't do much there, did they? Did they do anything? Did they play any spells at all? Oh no, they did. They played Wily Duke, I remember. And I killed it. 20 gems? What did I get the 20 gems for? 20 gems? I don't know. I don't know why it gave me 20 gems. I'm okay with 20 gems. Aardvark 808. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for like a big, kind of like a big match here, but it's not really happening. My opponent's not doing well. Yeah, it's sleight of hand. I'll take the land. Forest Llanowar Elves, yeah. See, so Llanowar Elves there can that can tap for a green mana. So basically, what they're doing here is that's going to give them more mana. They're probably playing an elf deck where they can play like loads of elves. So here's what I'll do. I'll plot you. I'm not going to cast, I'm going to plot it. Demolition field. Yeah. Oh, hold. Oh, am I getting flashbacks? Do I know? Hold on. I'm just gonna look at this. Whenever a land enters, add 1 mana of any colour if this is the second time its ability. God, I remember there was a deck with that card. I don't remember what it does. Man, that's kind of awkward because. Right. So, okay. Corvuscle Cutter, bring you out first. Then I'll bring out this for free because I plotted it. That gives me my monk. Yes. And now I can attack with both of these. I could into the Floodmaw that thing now. Return it back to the hand. Means I can get it for more damage. The downside is that it means I probably won't get a chance to... No, I won't. I won't use it now. And I'll show you why. Because I think they might attack with that, and if they do, it would be a good chance to... into the Floodmaw it then. So if they can play another creature first and use up their mana, then I can into the Floodmaw it, so then they won't have mana left to bring that out. I don't know if the plan's going to work. Yeah. Demolition Field's an odd one. They can destroy one of my lands and destroy itself for us both get a different land. Okay. Okay. So that's just another forest. Oh jeez. Is that? Oh no, that's not impending. That's just. Oh god. Okay. So this is a big thing. When it enters, it gives them. When it enters our attacks, it gives them a land called Everywhere, which taps for any color. They can also impend it. I mean, have they got... Oh, yeah, they've got 1 mana from this, so they're not impending it. Which means, like... Well, hold on. That's fine. Okay. Bring you out. Have the effect. Man. Yeah. I mean, I could have bounced that one. But yeah, that's a big, nasty thing. So when they attack, they get a land called everywhere. Storm Chaser's talent. And I guess stock up. Right. I mean, the thing is, this thing can't... I can only get to a 4-4. It's going to be no match against this 6-5. So... I'll bring you out, though. At least I can get another monk that way. Get another monk and Mayota. I was attacking the air with you for 5. Yeah, so they're going to bring this out, attack with this, get another everywhere. They'll bring this out. They'll bring this out. Okay. Then they'll play a land. Attack me. Get an everywhere. They add 1 mana from the ability from that. Hold on. The second time is able, then if it's the second time, reveal comes back to the library until you reveal an alpha elemental. Oh, God. So they're going to do 6 damage to me now. I could just block it, and I could block it with the otter so that I wouldn't take the 6 damage. But that would kill the otter. I'm going to... I think I need to be... I don't know. Yeah. There's a fabled passage, so they grab Lumra. Do the big thing. Toughness and power equal... Lumra's toughness... Power and toughness are each equal to the number of land you control. When it enters mill 4 cards, then return all land cards from the battlefield onto the battlefield tapped. Yeah, so they've definitely got a land thing going on here. Oh dear, okay. New type of card, Planeswalkers. So... Oh, they're destroying my steel cutter. Can I just attack them and win? Just by doing, like, loads of damage? Maybe I can, you know. Maybe I can. See, so Planeswalkers here, these are like a big, powerful one. So you can activate, like, 1 ability. So, an interesting thing... hold on. Before I do anything, let's stock up. I don't think it matters. I need to do this first because they're sorceries. But I'll stock up. I'll take it to the Floodmoor. And an island. Sure thing. Oh. I can enter the Floodmoor. This thing, which went to their hand. They've got no mana open. So basically, when you attack with creatures, you can choose to attack a player, but you can also, if they've got a Planeswalker, you can choose to attack their Planeswalker, and they just put whatever creatures they want in the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter the Floodmoor. I think I can win just by getting this out the way. Getting all these abilities to stack up and trigger. And then get them all to attack the opponent. None of them towards the Planeswalker. And then for good measure, just an opt. Just to get their abilities going again. There you go. Well, I've done very well. I've done very well. I think what I'll do is I'll end this soon. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a starter deck duel. Starter deck duel. 1 second. See, I realise that everything I've showed you has been with that one deck, so I'm just going to do a starter deck duel here. I'm going to go with... You know what? The thing is, I don't actually know what much of these decks are and what they do. So I'm just going to have a look at one, see if I can get an idea of what it's about. Reckless Raid. Ah, see, there's our queen. There's Alicia. Arcane Aerialist, Cat Attack. Oh, could go Cat Attack. Graveyard Gifts. Yeesh, I don't know. You know what? I'll go with the blue black one just because I think that is the colour pair that I think would be most interesting to you. So I'm just going to take a quick look at this before, because I don't actually know what's in this deck. I'm going to have a quick look, see if I can figure out what it's about. So stab, opt, counter target creature spell. Yeah, so that's graveyard stuff. And when it dies, mill 2 cards. Exile target creature from a graveyard that was put there this turn, create a token that's a copy of it. That's a big thing. Threshold. Ah, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so Threshold. So this deck cares about stuff being in the graveyard. Bake into a pie. Nice little kill spell there. Zombify. Ah, right, yeah. Zombify. Just return something from the graveyard back to the battlefield. Arcane is the Omnipotent. Arbiter of War. Rise of the Dark Realms. 9 mana spell that returns everything from all graveyards to your side. And then we have our lands. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, I'm going to have a couple of games with Graveyard Gifts. Just to, I mean, I'm not showing plenty of games. I've only shown one deck, so I was thinking, let's show another deck. Okay. Right. Yeah, can't play this enters tap, so I can't get any blue mana turn 1. That's okay. That's okay. So you enter tapped, it heals me for 1. Okay. I'm not going top just yet. I'll leave Essence Scatter open to potentially counter a creature spell. Okay. Creature spell. If they don't cast a creature spell, I will just opt. You are a creature. Defending flying prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by this creature. Yeah, how about you don't have that? Goodbye. Oh jeez, Abyssal Harvester. It's very nice. I don't want it to die though. Okay. Mill 3 cards for an instant sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Could take the Essence Scatter or bake into a pie. They get to know which one I'm going to have though. I'll take the Essence Scatter. The thing is, they know I've got it. That's fine. So this Inspiration Beyond has Flashback. So with Flashback basically means you can use it from the graveyard for a different cost. So if I can get to 7 mana, I can use this again. Okay. I can't Essence Scatter, I've got no... all my lands are tapped for this turn. The thing is, if I bring out Abyssal Harvester, it's like... it runs... I do have to run the possibility of it dying. Although I've got Zombify, so I could just bring it back, I suppose. So... I've only got 1 access to blue mana. So you know what? Fine. Dazzling Angel. Yeah. Yeah, Dazzling Angel is one of those. So whenever they get a creature, whenever a creature enters under their control, they gain 1 life. Also, it's a 2/3 flyer. These two would just trade with each other. So, yada. Yeah, that boosts up Angels. Or whenever each other angel you control enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it, they get the Gold Vein pick. Yeah, that thing they can, if they hit me with the pick, they can get a treasure which they can sacrifice to add a mana. Not keen on this situation, I must say. Attack with 3. I can't block it because it's going to fly over me. And at the end of their turn, I'll use my Opt. To make Gilgate. No, I could do with more blue mana, but there's not much I can do with it. There's another Opt there. Oh, okay, there's an island. I can zombify. What have I got to zombify? Just the Dreadwing Scavenger. Not very good though, is it? Let's Opt. No, I don't want another Opt. Ah, that's kind of nice. Okay. Okay, I'll just attack. They can block this and we can trade. It's called trading, which is where... So if they block this, they're not blocking it. They're not blocking it, they're just letting it through. Yeah. So this creature here has flash, which means that I can play it like as if it were like just like an instant. But I'm thinking, they know I've got Essence Scatter. That eye, the little eye icon there, means they know I've got it. They saw me return it from my graveyard. So if they cast a creature, they know I could just Essence Scatter it. So they're probably going to avoid doing that. Yeah, equip the Gold Vein pick to that thing. They're going to hit me for getting a treasure. I do like Arcanus the Omnipotent. I don't have enough blue mana for it though. Okay. They're just attacking me with one of them. Sure thing. See, they're not attacking with this one, because if they attack with that one, then it wouldn't be able to block the Abyssal Harvester next turn. I can't do anything about that. Okay. They're probably not going to play any big creatures. I mean, if they do play a big creature, if they play a big creature now, it might be bait because they know I've got the Essence Scatter. So they could try and play like a creature, like their second best creature, as like in order to try and bait out this Essence Scatter from me. End of their turn. Okay. So I'm going to flash this in because it can flash. Can they do anything in response? Can they counter it? No. Alright. Man, I've got 2 Zombifies. I don't need them. Oh, jeez. I've only got one thing. Dreadwing Scavenger. So Dreadwing Scavenger's got Threshold. So if I've got 7 cards in my graveyard, it'll have 1/1 and Death Touch. Death Touch means that if it deals any amount of damage to a creature, then the creature dies. Yeah, I don't want to do anything here. Yeah, this isn't going too well. Yeah. They're getting a life from the Tranquil Cove. Attack with both of those. Can't do anything about it. Interesting, they are attacking with the Dazzling Angel this turn. Huh. Okay. That's really annoying. Flash flying. I mean, why are they flashing that in now? They can flash it in any time. Why are they doing it now? I'm not countering it because it's only a small thing, but it is annoying because they can spend 4 mana to draw cards with it. I don't know why they did that now though. So they're paying 4 mana with it to draw a card. They get a treasure from attacking me with the pick. What are they doing? Okay, so they get an extra mana for this. They can be used on angels, so they've got a 2-mana angel. No? What are they doing? I don't know. That was weird. That was very strange. They could put that in the way. Why are you doing that? Oh, I don't know. I feel like this player doesn't really know what they're doing because they're doing like silly things, but my deck is not. It's not playing out too well. Okay. This thing can get counters on whenever I cast spells on my opponent's turn. But, I mean, what is it to cast? I mean, Essence Scatter. Jeez. Flying, first strike, lifelink. Other angels you control have +1/+1 and lifelink. First strike is where if two creatures are attacking, then the first strike damage happens first. So if we both have enough damage to kill each other, then the one with first strike will actually win the fight and will survive. And lifelink means that they whenever they deal damage, it heals the player. But I'm countering that. I mean, I might have something bigger, but I'm using my counter spell. I mean, I suppose I can now zombify that bird, the Dreadwing Scavenger, and it'll have the Threshold ability. I'll give it Death Touch. That's okay. Oh, Stab. Stab, just give something -2/-2 for the turn. Okay. Let's just attack with both of them, fine. See what they do. I mean, I can't block them anyway because they're both flying. I've got Stab here, which is an instant. They're letting it through. Okay. Let's zombify. Bring back this Dreadwing Scavenger. Oh, it enters, I draw and discard. Let's get rid of the Opt. Okay. So I'm hoping that I've explained at least enough that what you're seeing here, like, makes sense. Okay. So I will block. Now these would normally trade because they're both 3/3s. I mean, mine has Death Touch anyway, so even if it was like, oh, status net, whenever this creature enters, exile target opponent controls until enchantment leaves the battlefield. Alright, so they're going to exile my Dreadwing Scavenger, I guess. Okay. Thing to note though is that because I've already declared that as a blocker, this doesn't hit me now because the blocker's already been declared. And it's exiled. So as long as this enchantment exists, this Dreadwing Scavenger is exiled. If I can get rid of that enchantment somehow. Oh, there's another one. Bring you out. Draw and discard. I don't need another swamp. Oh, I didn't even think about this. I could discard Arcanus the Omnipotent, and then zombify it to bring it back, to bring it out. Didn't even think about that. Okay, attack with both of these. Do what you're gonna do. Maybe I stab. I've only got 4 mana, so I can't do all of these, but maybe I could stab something. Give it -2/-2, depending on what they do here. Running it through. Okay. Let's zombify. And bring back Arcanus the Omnipotent. Oh. So, as long as this can survive to my next turn, I can tap this to draw 3 cards. That's nice. That's a big thing. They can't quite do 8 damage to me. The thing is that, so they, say if they were to attack and I was let it all through, because they tap, well, the Yada wouldn't tap, but this would tap. So you gotta remember, like, as long as, unless something has, like vigilance, when it attacks, it taps, which means that you can't use it to block the next turn. The reason I'm not bothered about that so much from my side is that their things fly, whereas most of mine don't. So I won't be able to block them anywhere because they just fly over. Attacking for 3. You know what? I'll block that. We'll trade. They both die. Sure thing. The problem here is that they... That's a 6/6. That could do a lot of damage. So if they can get in both... I mean, I've still got Stab open, I guess. And I can draw 3 cards and maybe get a good answer there. Okay. Okay, let's use your ability. Tap, draw 3 cards. Do. Man. So they will attack me for 8. I can maybe stab something, make it so it doesn't attack for as much. I've only got 2. I could use Inspiration from Beyond. Is there a return instant or sorcery to my hand? I could go bake into a pie, but okay, let's do that. So Inspiration from Beyond, mill 4, return instant or sorcery into my hand from my graveyard. I'll grab bake into a pie. I'll play the Swamp. That gives me, because the Demir Guildgate enters tapped, so I've got 5 mana, so that gives me a chance to potentially stab and bake into a pie. But I'll hang back. Yeah, bake into a pie. Instant. Oh, they know I've got it though. They've seen it. They've seen it come out of my graveyard. So, okay. Let's bake into a pie. Can they counter it or something? You get a counter because it was... Oh no, they can't. You get a 1/1 counter. Okay. I'll take 2 damage. They're going to put the pig on something. This turtle is silly. It's just a 0/5 for 1 mana. It's nothing special. So bake into a pie also gives me a food. And a food I can pay 2 mana, tap and sacrifice it to gain 3 life. So that can make me hopefully live a little bit longer. Let's draw 3 cards. You can't do much on the ground anyway. It's a lot of stuff. Oh, Arbiter of War. You're a big thing. So, as an additional cost, sacrifice a creature. Flying, when it enters, each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. I mean, that is a big thing. Okay. Okay, I'll bring you out. Have a nice flying death touch. I'll discard the land. I can still play the Arbiter of War. They've got 1 card in their hand. When it enters, each opponent discards a card and loses 2 life. You draw a card and gain 2 life. I've got to sacrifice another creature when I play it though. Oh, hold on. Here's an idea. Kill this one. You're a big one, you die. Okay. They discard and lose 2 life, I do that. And now that something entered the battlefield, I can use this ability, tap it, bring this back out. Well, not bring it out, but make a token that's also a nightmare. Okay then. Okay, this is looking good. I think I might win this. So this is a bit more... When it enters, draw 2 cards and gain 2 life. This is a bit of a more elaborate and more of a bigger game. Oh. Creature control with flying, get +1/+1. Okay. Oh, there's Nest and Scatter. I think I don't need to draw any more cards. I mean, I could draw 3 cards, but maximum hand size is... I have to discard something, because the maximum hand size is 7 cards. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 9 mana open, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, yeah, okay. Just counting here. So I'll bring you out. You're a nice big flyer. I mill 3 cards. Sure thing. Oh. Because it entered the battle, it entered the graveyard this turn. I can bring this out. I can make it a nightmare token of that. Sure. Oh, I lose my other one. Didn't even think about that, because it exiles all of the nightmare tokens you control. Okay. Fine, whatever. Well, this is fine. I don't know if I want to attack. Huh. So a lot of stuff here. I'll attack with you, and if they have some like multiple blocks, I can stab something, reduce it down, make it a bit easier. Oh, they're just letting it through. Okay then. Okay. Let's essence scatter that one. Oh no, I should. I tell you what though. I tell you what I should have done. I should have played the Brownborn Cutthroat first and then essence scattered. Because that way, it would have gotten the 1/1 counter on it. Yeah. So this is. I mean, this is a bit more. This is more like elaborate of a game, I guess. So they will. Are they going to attack? Attack with those. That's a lot. Okay. Bring out the Brownborn Cutthroat. Should have done that earlier. Okay. And now I will block you to you, you to you, and you to you. Okay. And I will stab something. Let's stab this one. At least if I stab that, so they both get a counter on. Yeah. And you survive that fight there. So all my things survive. I think I'm doing alright. I think I'm in a very, very good place here. I've clipping the pickaxe onto that. They've got no cards in their hand. I mean, I'll probably just attack with everything and win, I guess. But let's do this. Let's flash back this. Turn instant sorcery from my to my graveyard, from my to my hand. Let's bake into it. Grab a bake into a pie. Play 1 land there. Yep, and they've seen it. Okay, I think this has been very good. I think aside from, I think that last game things got a bit more complicated, and I mean the goal is to, like I said, the goal is to make sure that you can sort of understand the flow of things. Yeah, I've got 4 messages in my inbox. What's going on? Drop your thoughts in this survey. No. Yeah, so I think that's good. I saw a nice like introduction, I suppose. But like I say, I know that last game got a bit more. There's like a lot of stuff going on. There's like a lot of creatures, a lot of things going about. But I think the idea. I'm hoping that the idea of how the game plays is sort of a bit more clear. Of course, it's one of those things where you actually have to play, like once, like you have to actually play it to get like a proper feel for it. But I think I'm hoping that that's made things a little bit more clear. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.